Okay guys, so I'm here in line. As you can see, I'm the 5th truck in line at this point. I know this other Oakley driver who I talked to when we were checking in is going to the same place I'm going to in Missouri. Don't know about the other ones. But yeah, don't know how long this is going to take because I've never been here before, but I have seen one truck back out of there. I guess the loading area is inside there, so he backed out and then headed back out that way to the front exit. So I've already got my hazmat placards. As you can see, he's got his in there, and that fellow over there is putting his in. So I've already got mine in. Still got my tarp over because it's been sprinkling a bit, so I'm just waiting till I get up in the front of the line to do anything on that. So yeah, just waiting to get loaded with some ammonia nitrate going to Missouri. All right folks, it's finally my turn. Now the way this works, from what I can tell, is we're gonna pull into this covered loading area, and they got 2 drop chutes. They'll drop the front one and then the rear one, and we'll be parked on a scale so they can see how heavy we are as they're loading. At least that's what I heard is going to happen. So let's see if we can get in here and get loaded. I probably won't be able to get out and show you anything, so more later. Okay, so he took my paperwork. We agreed to take it up to 79.5 total weight. He didn't want to push it too far. And it's been taking about 10 or 12 minutes per truck. I guess that's the buzzer to start loading. Yep, it's loading now. So once I get loaded, I'll back out of here and get my tarp rolled back off and head on out. I think I get all my shipping paper from this guy right here. So we'll be on the road. I'm gonna try to get about 3 hours down the road, close to Memphis, and camp out for the night. All right, people, Thursday morning, about 8 a.m. We are passing from North Arkansas into southern Missouri. It says the city is Thayer, Missouri. So I'm about an hour and 15 minutes from my customer in Missouri still. So I'm going to stop up here in a little while and get some fuel. There's a Love's up here. And get some fuel, so I'll be ready for the next adventure. I just called my dispatcher about 20 minutes ago, and you know, I just learned yesterday that my dispatcher, Luke, is on vacation. And I think Manuel may be on vacation too, because he hasn't answered the phone. I don't know, the phone's been answered all week by people that aren't usually answering the phone, so must be a lot of people on vacation. Anyway, he said he'd have my next trip ready for me when I get empty. I don't know what it is, we didn't talk about it. Just trying to get through the hills here. So I I stopped, I was in Mississippi about, I don't know, about 45 miles south of Memphis last night. Camped out. Actually stopped a little ahead of where I was hoping to get to. Got up about 3:45 and hit the road this morning about 4. You know, about the first 2.5 hours nice and flat, but as we got up into North Arkansas, it got hilly, curvy, and it's going to be that way the rest of this trip. Pretty scenery though, pretty scenery. I hadn't been up this way in a while. Oh man, let's see. Whoops, I need to switch lanes here. We're going to be staying on 63. This log truck here pulled out in front of me about 45 minutes ago. And that flatbedder in front of him, we've been just traveling as a caravan here for quite a while. None of us can go very fast. Anyway, more later. Okay, everybody. Hey, we're getting close to my customer here in Missouri. Got this load of ammonia nitrate, you know, I picked up in Mississippi yesterday. And I bet you this big place up here on the left is where I'm headed. Looks like the kind of place I'm looking for. Don't think I've ever been here. See if we can find a place to turn in. Okay, this must be it. Alright. Well, let's get in here and see if we can figure this out. Let's see. Oh, there's a scale, but it looks like I need to go around the other way. This end. Okay. Well, maybe there's another turn in down here that I could have used. Yeah, there's room to turn around. Let's give it a shot. I'll get back to you. Okay, well, I scaled in. Took my paperwork inside. And the lady kept my paperwork. Said that I came in the best way, even though you have to go around and turn around to get on the scale. Slow down there, fella. Because the turn in at the other end of the property is a very sharp turn, and she said you probably wouldn't be able to make it coming from the direction I was coming from. So she told me to come on down beside this building and make a right, and there'd probably be someone down here that could help me get unloaded. So let's see if that's true. Okay, well, I'm gonna get out and move my mud flaps to see if I can find anybody. All right, guys, so we just unloaded here. My helpers have just gone on to do something else, but let's take a look. This building is not high enough that I could raise all the way up, so he spotted me and had me lower and raise and move forward when I needed to. But you can see it came out clean. Got a little bit up there, I'll give it a sweep. But there's my delivery. Right there from Mississippi to Missouri. All right, so I'm gonna sweep out, shut my door, get my mud flaps on, retarp, and we'll go scale out. This looks like some potash. Pretty big building. All right, let me do a little work. All right, people. So I'm a few miles gone from that delivery back there. Called dispatch, and he's sending me about 2.5 hours away to Joplin, Missouri. Getting a load of some sort of scrap metal going back to Tennessee. And then he's planning to reload me over there in the same town, maybe the same location, coming back to North Little Rock. So that all sounds good. Oh, and I was able, as I was scaling out back there, there was another Oakley coming in, and I recognized this truck. It was Huey, who's kind of a new Oakley driver. Been out on his own now a few months. He used me as his referral when he came to Oakley, and I talked to him many times, emailed, and we'd seen each other at a customer one time at a distance, just waving distance, but I never actually met him, so I was able to get out while he was scaling in and go talk to him for a minute. So it was good to meet him finally. He's unloading at the same place with the same product. So, look at all the red buds here on the left. Man, I tell you, the red buds are the tree of noticeability at this time of the year. They've been everywhere. You know, they bloom out early spring and look real pretty for a couple weeks, and then they're ugly trees. I shouldn't diss on them like that, but you know what I'm saying. Okay, well, we'll see you in Joplin. Alright, folks, so I just checked in, scaled in here at my shipper in Joplin, Missouri. And I'm supposed to be backing into this tall covered building over to the left there. Just trying to look around here and see how much room I've got to back in over there. Oh, look at this big dip in the concrete. All right, so I think, all right, it's kind of a straight lane right there to back down into. All right, so let me try to get situated here. Okay, guys, so I just, my loader just came over. I was parked right here, but he had me pull out and then angle over there so he can get in here to grab the product. So basically, this is all old aluminum transmission housings. He said it probably won't be one of those deals where it's going to be overweight. It's just a matter of filling up the trailer. So let's take a look at it. I've got my bows moved except for the front one and the rear one, which he said would give him plenty of room. So let's get you a shot here of a drop. So that's how it works. Okay, so I just came over here to kind of get out of the way, giving you a long distance view. Just using a big claw grabber. So this is going to a place in Tennessee that I deliver to a lot. Not normally this product though, so I don't know where this will be delivered. Sometimes I see this kind of stuff outside, but I don't know, we'll see. So I should have enough time after I get loaded here and checked out to get, I've got a little over 3 hours of drive time left on my clock. So I'm gonna try to make it to that Love's. I should have just enough time to get over at the Love's in, I think it's Willow Springs, Missouri. I stopped there earlier today and got fuel. So that's my target. And then that'll probably leave me 4 hours to go tomorrow, 4.5, something like that. Okay, so that's it. All right, everybody, welcome to Friday morning. We're on 60 eastbound in southern Missouri. It's about 10 till 7. Got this load of cast aluminum, they call it. I picked up yesterday over in Joplin, Missouri. The unfortunate thing about this load is that it's got a delivery appointment of noon. And I'm projecting to get there probably around 10:30. Maybe I'll be able to get in a little early, I hope so, but the thing is, I could have left much sooner and got there much sooner than 10:30. I probably could have got there easily by 9, but this customer does go by appointment, so that's just how it is. So that's kind of drawn out my day here a little bit. I know dispatch told me yesterday that after I make this delivery, he was planning to reload me out of Jackson, coming back to North Little Rock. That'll put me getting back to North Little Rock late in the afternoon. Probably have to make delivery on Monday morning, which is all okay. Got a nice weather day again. Trying to get up this hill, and then we'll show you some sunrise. I stopped again last night at the Love's in Willow Springs, Missouri. Fueled up this morning, so we got that out of the way. There's a pretty shot for you. The view from my office. Yeah, and I got an email last night from a fella that's looking for a group of end dumpers to handle some loads. I don't want to give too much information here, but got a pretty big project hauling a product out of Arkansas down to South Texas, and he was wondering if I knew anybody or was interested, so I forwarded that to Manuel, and he said he would reach out to him and talk about it, so maybe they'll be able to book some business for us out of that. I hope so. Let's see, what else is going on here? I've still got about 3.5 hours. I'm still quite a ways from Jackson, Tennessee. Showing you some of the morning sunrise. More later. All right, boys and girls. It's about 12:20 Friday afternoon. I made that delivery back there in Jackson. They don't like cameras in the property, so no footage. I got in probably about 25 minutes ahead of my appointment. Got it dumped out, came out real clean, didn't even have to sweep. And they dispatched me about 15 miles away, still here in Jackson, Tennessee, to get a load that'll deliver in North Little Rock, probably Monday morning. So I left my tarp open for the short drive over here. Probably be getting some Zorba, they call it, which will take to North Little Rock, and it'll be sorted down, and they'll get what they call twitch out of it. Little pieces of aluminum come back to Jackson. So anyway, my shipper's up here about half a mile. I'll try to show you some of the load when I get in there. All right, people, so I've got scaled in, checked in. They give me a little piece of paper here that I have to sign, and it tells the loader what product I'm getting. In this case, it's called small Zorba. Sometimes I get small Zorba, sometimes I get medium Zorba, sometimes I get large Zorba when I'm here. I'm just giving you a look. We're kind of going to the raw material scrapyard area. Back to the right is kind of the finished product area where you get a lot of flatbedders going in and out of there. Loading up steel bars and such. And then you got big stuff straight ahead, you know, like salvaged, crushed up old cars. That's how it starts, and then it gets smashed around and sorted through and put into little piles until it becomes something like Zorba, and then I haul it out. One day, that new car you bought recently is gonna be in a pile of Zorba. So, just giving you a shot here. The place we're gonna load is over here to the right. In fact, I'll come out here when I'm loaded and trying to get back to the scale. But to get there, you gotta go. Whoops. All right, fella, where you going? All right. Oh, here comes another truck. Hold on, let me make a wide turn, sir. Stop! Good Lord, man. Some people just don't get it. Well, let's let them squeeze through on the right side. Ooh, I need to clean my windshield again. Just did that this morning. You know, when the weather warms up, it's hard to keep a windshield clean. You know, once the bugs come out, your windshield's always messy. All right, now we gotta go through the mud holes. Bumpy roads. And we're going to turn right here, and this is where we'll get loaded with small Zorba. Hopefully it won't take the loader too long to get over here. Sometimes, you know, he's here waiting on you, and sometimes you have to wait 20 minutes for him to show up. Alright, so I'm just going to park here, get loaded. I got to move most of my bows. And then we'll, if we get lucky, we'll weigh just right. We won't have to come back. All right guys, here's my loader. I caught him on lunch break, so I had to wait about 20 minutes. But this is small Zorba from that pile right there. He said we'll do one dump in the front, one in the back, one in the middle, and then maybe a partial. So that's how it works. This stuff will be heavier than the medium or large Zorba because it packs in tighter. There goes a little train. So, there he is right there. Okay, let's take a look in here. Yeah, there it is. You can see I've got my bows moved out of the way. It's real windy, so a lot of junk driving around or blowing around here. So the secret here is to get loaded with a good weight so that you don't have to come back and get more, or come back and take some off. If you have to take some off, you have to pull there, back up sharply here, and kind of dump onto that concrete pad. So you know, and I'm not good enough with this trailer. You know, I've had this trailer now for what, 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, and I'm just not comfortable enough with the gauges to be real accurate, but we'll try. So here goes dump number 2. Looks like it's headed toward the middle. Yeah, this stuff is really small. Small Zorba. Okay, well, that's how it works. I'm hoping y'all can see this vehicle over here to my right. Ha! That is a crazy vehicle. I wish I could have got a better shot of it, but I got traffic behind me. All right, people. Well, we're on I-40 westbound, crossing over, well, leaving Memphis. Going to cross over the Mississippi River into Arkansas, which leaves me about 2 hours to make it to North Little Rock, and I'll be done for the week. It is about 3:30 Friday afternoon. Been a pretty good week. I've had, you know, they kept me moving. Didn't have any real slowdowns, bad loads, stalls, truck, or breakdowns, anything like that. So can't complain. And the way it works at Oakley is since I picked up this load on Friday, if I get it delivered Monday, which I will, and send in the paperwork by end of the day on Monday, it'll go on this week's pay that we'll get next Friday. And we get a weekly settlement pay every Friday. That's how it works. Ooh, a lot of construction. Okay, well, I don't know. I know I haven't done any settlement reviews lately. I don't know. I might do one or 2 weeks review when I get home sometime this weekend. I don't know. We'll see. No promises. And we got this weigh station here. It's very active. Looks like it's open, so we'll have to go in there. By the way, when I scaled out back there in Jackson the first time, I weighed 80,200. That's with me out of the truck. So I went back around, opened up my little chute in the back door, and just kind of shoveled out a little pile, and then I went and weighed out, and I was 79,300 with me out of the truck. So did have to go back. You know, it's hard. Not only is this trailer, I'm not used to this new trailer, but you know, it's a gravel lot back there where you get loaded, and our trucks, our scales on the truck and trailer just, you know, you got to be on really flat, solid ground for them to work accurately. Alright, looks like we're getting bypasses here, so but yeah, because I tried to calibrate my scales the other day with a load. You know, I knew how much the load weighed, and I got on good level ground, but it's a work in progress. But anyway, I thought if, you know, if I'd have had to pick, I would have had to go back and get some more to make a heavy enough load, but it turns out I was too heavy, had to go take a little off. That's all right. You know, that's why it's really good when you get the loaders that have scales on their front end loaders. That really helps a lot. But that guy back there, he doesn't have scales on his front end loader. He just goes by experience. Okay, I'll try to show a little bit of the yard as I enter once I get to North Little Rock, and then we'll wrap it up for this week. All right, everybody, we finally made it back to the Oakley yard. Coming in the back gate here. Let's see what's going on. Hopefully this battery will last a couple minutes. One of the dispatch supervisors called me about an hour ago asking if I wanted to do a load tomorrow, Saturday, which basically would have taken up pretty much the whole day. And I was like, no, thanks for checking, but no thanks. Oh. But that reminded me, you know, I was talking to Mark, a new prospective driver, earlier in the week, and you know, he's planning on just staying out, you know, living in the truck for a few months, you know. Wow. He's buying a new truck and gonna just live in the truck for a while. So yeah, you can do that. There's all sorts of options, you know. I get home on the weekends typically, but you know, if you want to stay out for weeks at a time, you can do that. They'll keep you running pretty much. Just depends on what you want to do. I don't want to run tomorrow though, but if I was financially desperate, I could make some more money. All right, so let's see what's going on here at the yard. It's almost 6 p.m. on Friday, so the office and the truck wash, the shop, everything's closed up now. I'm just trying to let you see what's going on here. I am tired, man. I am wiped out. Ready to park this thing and get home. Tired. I could actually just park it and fall asleep. Okay, so let's see what's going on here. Hopefully I can find a parking spot. It's been really windy again today. Been a very windy spring, I'll tell you that. Okay, so I'm looking around, looking for a parking spot. Getting in kind of late on a Friday. A lot of the spots will be taken, I'm sure. But let's see if we can get lucky. I'll look down this side first because I'm parked over here. And if I can't find one, I'll park over there on the other side. Anyway, let me get parked and wrap it up for the week. See you next week.